Welcome back to Orville's video announcements.
Alright, now that it's the end of April, the weather seems to be getting a lot better.
And prom's coming up, make sure you buy those tickets.
The featured club promo for this month is choir.
Alright, so I think that choir is a really fun time, and you don't have to be able to sing, because anyone can sing, in my opinion. So don't be afraid to join choir, just because you think you can't sing. And then we also try and do a lot of more fun songs. Like this last concert is full of fun songs, so give it a shot.
My name is Haley Ayers. I'm a junior and I've been in choir all my life. In high school, I've been in women's choir and symphonic choir for 2 years. Choir is a really fun experience because we get to learn really complicated songs, hang out with our friends, and it's a nice refreshing break from all the stressful high school classes. We've even gone and competed at district and state competitions where we got ranked first in both last year.
So I've been in women's choir and in symphonic choir for my entire high school career. I love it. It's always a good time. We get to learn new languages with the songs that we sing. There's different genres, and the people here are just so amazing. Join choir.
If you enjoyed that video and it interested you, make sure to join choir next year.
Next, we have a 1-minute lesson by Annie and Kaylin about Punnett Squares.
Today we will be teaching you about Punnett Squares in exactly 1 minute.
A Punnett Square is a helpful tool used in biology that helps predict the variations and probabilities that come from crossbreeding.
To get started, here's some vocab that you need to know. An allele is a form of a gene. A dominant allele is represented by a capital letter and it's an allele that is more likely to show up, while a recessive allele is represented by a lowercase letter and is less likely to show up.
Only one dominant allele is needed for it to be shown. A genotype is the genetic makeup of an organism. For example, big H, or big H, little h, or little h, little h. A phenotype is the physical appearance of an organism, like hair color.
To make a Punnett square, you create a box like this. Each square represents possible genotypes of the offspring, each square having a 25% chance of occurring. Let's use parents' eye color as an example.
If the dad has brown eyes but carries the recessive blue eye allele, then his phenotype would be big B, little b. The mom has blue eyes, so her phenotype is little b, little b. Offspring inherit one allele from each parent. Bring one letter down from the top and one from the left of each box. The offspring has a 50% chance of having brown eyes and 50% chance of having blue eyes.
And that's a 1-minute lesson on Punnett squares.
Hope you learned something new.
And now here's Mara and Taylor for a video about pet peeves.
Preface, this is all jokes. Do not take this too seriously. You can see.
This is Mr. Adams, and my pet peeve is people that are parking in the visitor spots that are not visitors, they're students, and also students parking in the students of the month that are not students of the month or former students of the month. So I'm asking you that you would please park in the appropriate spot so that our mentors and our visitors and our college professors can park in these spots. Thank you.
Hey, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, it's kind of annoying when you ask me something but I can't hear you because I have my AirPod in, right? That's my biggest pet peeve. All these kids are addicted to their music, listening to like Trippie Redd and Juice WRLD, R.I.P. Like when we're trying to have class, these things need to go in the trash.
So my pet peeve about the high school is that on a regular basis I will go down and I will steal Mr. Adams' coffee, and sometimes it's cold.
The thing I don't like about this school is that the freshmen think that they are really funny, because guess what, guys? You're not.
I hate that the school Wi-Fi actually doesn't work. I hate how the school is always cold and we can't wear hats or hoods.
Alright, so I have 2 pet peeves about the high school. Number 1, the hood's up. I don't get it. Like, if your haircut's that bad, you should just get a haircut. Alright, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if it looks cool or something. And then second off is specifically English teachers directly next to me that are not named Mrs. Landers, that are really, 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 really loud, so much so that they disrupt my class. And again, not Mrs. Landers. You guys can figure out who that is.
Personally, my pet peeve with the high school is Mr. Adams' incessant need to say that pineapple is everybody's favorite fruit.
My pet peeve is Taylor Caskey.
Every time there's a function going on in the new gym, we're really lost because the gym is 10 years old. It's just the gym, the old gym. That's sufficient. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yes, picking gum off the trays because I do the dishwasher. It's disgusting.
The vending machines are always broken or empty.
Vending machine drinks are always sold out.
Waking up early.
My pet peeve is when I tell students to put their phones away and they're like, I don't have my phone. What are you talking about?
Oh, my pet peeve is when students know the rule and don't follow it.
The printer's always broke because of Mark Bazanza.
The printers are always broken because Miss Hall is just copying things wrong, not refilling the paper, anything like that.
My pet peeve is everybody's on their phones. It drives me absolutely bonkers.
My biggest pet peeve is the random noises in the hallway in classes. I'm talking to you, Taj, Kate, and Montgomery.
My pet peeve about this school is that upperclassmen can't leave for lunch.
My biggest pet peeve about the high school is when the girls throw their paper towels in the sink or on the floor, even though there's a trash can right as you walk out.
Biggest pet peeve is sophomores thinking they can park wherever they want.
My biggest pet peeve is people chewing way too loud.
My biggest pet peeve is every time I walk in this school, it stinks.
My biggest pet peeve is when students come in and use my microwave and then set the fire alarm off.
Okay, so one of my biggest pet peeves is, I got two, I guess, walking behind kids down the hallway when they're going real slow because they don't want to get to class. And the second one is students getting mad at the teacher because they got caught using their phone when they know they're not supposed to be using it in the first place.
My pet peeve in this school is always having to walk so slow with these big legs.
My pet peeve about Orville High School is students who don't have their Chromebooks charged.
My biggest pet peeves. You guys don't use your lockers, and 90% of you can't remember, 3 digits of a combination. Learn your combination and use your lockers.
Freshmen. Sophomores.
My pet peeve is lateness. As Mr. Adams quoted, display greatness, not lateness.
My pet peeve is when this green screen doesn't work.
Yeah. Here is Noah and Landon racing cars.
Bro, I have a way faster car than you.
It's not about the car, man. It's the driver.
No, it doesn't matter. My car is faster. I will obviously beat you in any race.
I think we should go settle this right now.
All right, let's go. Come on. Your car is the slowest car I've ever seen.
I know that only has 138, but I'm telling you again, just like Fast and Furious, it's about the driver. We can do this right now.
Yes, we're doing it right now. I don't care about Officer Moss. He's not going to catch us.
But what about Mr. Adams?
It doesn't matter. We're doing it right now. You're losing.
We gotta be careful, though.
It doesn't matter. We're doing it.
Get in your car. Let's go. We're racing.
And this month's teacher spotlight is for Mr. Schneider.
I am Mr. Schneider. I am a small group instructor, so I teach a little bit of everything. And this year I am in some math classes and physical science classes. I started teaching because I had some high school teachers that I really did not like. I felt they did a terrible job, and I thought I could do a better job teaching than them. So I put my money where my mouth was, and I decided to become a teacher myself and see if I could do a better job than them.
Preach.
I went to Canton South High School, and for college, I went to Walsh University. My favorite memory of teaching is probably going to be my first year teaching when I was in South Carolina. I had a class that was very difficult, maybe my worst class that I had that year. And then halfway through the year, we decided to change how we were all working together as an entire class. And we did like a fresh start. We all did everything together and worked really hard as a group, and it ended up becoming my favorite class by the end of the year. I think I could take on 3 or 4, depending on who it is.
Do we want to call out some names, or are we just going to leave it to the people?
They know who they are, but I could easily take them.
And now here is Kaylin Grimm with a track hype video.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh, the master of my sea. Oh, ooh. I was broken from a young age, taking my soul into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, tripping me, shipping me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
As a reigning champion of the kickball tournament, here's a recap of what happened this year.
As we all know, we had a kickball tournament from March 16th to March 30th. It consisted of our first homerooms all the way to our second homerooms. First homerooms played against each other, like Mrs. Lewis's homeroom, Ms. Anson's homeroom, and Mr. Eric's homeroom. Second homeroom consisted of like Mrs. Hall's, Mrs. Rice, both the Duxbury's, and Mrs. Regan's. The whole tournament was a little of a jumble up. Most games ended very big, most games ended very small. Mr. Urich's homeroom looked like a contender to win the whole thing, but sadly they were eliminated by Mr. Bezanson's homeroom, who were very strong and very much of an underdog team. Now, Mr. Bezanson made it to the finals, and so did Mrs. Regan's homeroom. They ended up going to the finals, and it ended up being a fairly small scoring game. In the very beginning, Bezanson was up, then it went to Regan, then it was Bezanson and Regan. It was a very close battle game. From these clips, you have Parker rolling the ball for Mr. Bezanson, and you see that you had Anthony Gonzalez as well, some of these key players for Mr. Bezanson. On Mr. Regan's team, you had the likes of Coda, and you had the likes of Jerson Lopez, who was also on the soccer team. So I would say it was a fairly even match between those two. But it did end victorious for Mrs. Regan versus Bezanson.
Congratulations to Regan's homeroom for beating Mr. Bezanson.
Here is Noah and Landon teaching you how to change a tire.
Today, me and Noah are going to teach you how to change a tire. So what you're going to want to do is come to your trunk, because most spare tires are located underneath the floorboard of your trunk. So you're going to have to get everything out of your trunk and open the floorboard. So now that everything's clear, you're going to want to go ahead and lift up your floorboard, and you'll see your spare tire. You're going to want to unscrew the spare tire. And then you're going to want to take the jack out of its box and put it in the right spot.
So before you put the jack under the car, you're going to want to loosen the lug nuts so you don't move the car while it's on the jack. Stand on it to break it loose. That's about all you're going to need for every lug nut.
So now you're going to want to go ahead and jack up your car, but making sure to put the jack in the right spot as stated before. You're going to want to make sure that the tire is off the ground.
Now that the car is jacked up, we are going to remove all the lug nuts. Now that all the lug nuts are removed, remove the wheel. Now, put all the lug nuts on and tighten. Now that they're all hand tightened, tighten them with your wrench to a safe tightening point to be lowered. Now that you have the spare tire on, tightened enough for lowering, take your other one out and proceed to lower the jack. Now that the car is on the ground, go back to the wheel and tighten them as tight as you can get them. Always remember that most spare tires are only recommended to go under 50 miles per hour for only 50 miles.
Make sure you put everything back away and back into your trunk. Go ahead and drive to your closest mechanic and get yourself a new tire, and then that's how you change a spare tire.
Head, shoulders, knees, head, knees, shoulder, head, shoulder, knee, cup, head, shoulder, knees, head, 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 knee, shoulder, cup.
Oh. We're at 5. Oh.
I'm driven by spite and nothing else.
That's right.
Oh, I don't even think it can.
Mm. 5. Oh, jeez. Set. Go. Okay,
Alabama, Alaska.
Arkansas.
Alaska.
Okay. Go C. Delaware.
District of Columbia,
New Jersey,
Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona,
Nevada,
Idaho,
Montana,
Florida,
North Dakota,
Georgia,
South Dakota,
North Carolina, South Carolina,
Wisconsin,
Georgia, Florida, Texas, Ohio,
Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi,
West Virginia,
Alabama, and 30
seconds.
Georgia,
Oklahoma.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
I already said that.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Virginia, West Virginia.
I'm out.
Wait, I forget what's like in the middle.
15 seconds.
Rhode Island. New Jersey.
New Hampshire.
Massachusetts.
Ohio.
5,
Kansas.
4, 3,
Texas.
2,
Yeah.
1.
That's it for April's video announcements.
Tune in next month for our last video announcements of the year.
Summer's almost here.